Welcome to part 4 of Defunct AHL teams. In this episode we'll be talking about the Kentucky Thoroughblades. Kentucky would not be considered a natural environment for hockey expansion, but Lexington hosted an AHL team for 5 seasons. The story starts before the Thoroughblades existed. The San Jose Sharks partnered with the Kansas City Blades of the International Hockey League for their inaugural 1991-92 NHL campaign. That affiliation would last for 5 years. In the spring of 1996, the Blades sold the team to Richard DeVos, who owned stakes in the Grand Rapids Griffins and the Orlando Solar Bears. Due to the new owners' outlandish new ideas and a decline in attendance, San Jose and Kansas would part ways. It should be noted that during this period, many NHL teams severed ties with their IHL affiliates over concerns that the IHL was trying to challenge the NHL as the Premier Hockey League. That turned out to be an ill-fated move, as the IHL would fold a few years later. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, the Thoroughblades were being born. A Name the Team contest was responsible for the team name, and the final choice was unsurprising given the rich thoroughbred history in Lexington. Interest was high from a fanbase who purchased 2,700 season tickets before the start of the 1996-97 opening campaign. It was a perfect fit for both organisations, as San Jose jumped on board to make the first professional hockey team in Kentucky their second farm team and first in the American Hockey League. Things began well off the ice as Kentucky set an AHL attendance record with 17,503 fans in attendance for the home opener. The Thoroughblades struggled to compete on the ice in their first 2 seasons. Respective records of 36-35-9 and 29-39-9-3 resulted in third place finishes in the Mid-Atlantic Division. Kentucky would go no further than the first round of the postseason, losing to Hershey 3-1 and 3-0 in consecutive seasons. Despite the lack of success, the crowds flocked to see the first professional hockey team in town, posting average crowd numbers approaching 8,000. The appointment of Roy Summer as head coach in 1998 led to an immediate turnaround in results. A 44-win regular season was followed by defeating Hershey 3-1 in the first round of the playoffs. Despite losing 4-3 to Philadelphia in the second round, it spelt success in the following 2 campaigns. Kentucky won back-to-back divisional titles, winning the Mid-Atlantic and South Division titles with 42-win campaigns. However, Hershey would end both playoff runs in 2000 in the second round and 2001 in the first round, the latter signalling the end of the Kentucky Thoroughblades. With crowd numbers diminishing to under 4,500 after such a promising beginning, San Jose purchased the franchise to set it up in a different location. Put simply, the finances dictated the Kentucky owners had to sell. With lower costs and the expectations of larger crowds outside of Lexington, it was little surprise when San Jose placed the franchise in Cleveland, Ohio for the 2001-02 season, and thus the Cleveland Barons were born. Fans in Lexington would not be immediately left in the lurch as far as professional hockey was concerned. The Lexington Men O' War entered the ECHL, but lasted just 1 season before being folded. Home for the Kentucky Thoroughblades was the home court for the University of Kentucky men's basketball program. Located in downtown Lexington, the Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center now is named after legendary former Kentucky coach Adolph Rupp. It continues to be the primary host of the basketball team to this day. Moving on to notable players for Kentucky. Steve Goala holds the franchise records for goals, 88, assists, 132, and points, 220. The Ontario native was selected 3rd overall by the Ottawa Senators in the 1994 NHL Supplemental Draft, which was limited to the 10 teams that missed the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs. Goala would sign for San Jose as a free agent in 1996. In his sophomore campaign, the centerman registered 100 points in 69 games for Kentucky, finishing joint second in league scoring. Goaltender Mika Kiprasov was a 2-time AHL All-Star for the Thoroughblades, posting a 0.925 save percentage through 83 games. The Finnish native would go on to have a stellar NHL career in Calgary. Evgeny Nabokov featured heavily in 2 campaigns for Kentucky, though his statistics were distorted by playing in the pre-Roy Summer era. The Russian netminder would play over 700 career NHL games, the majority with San Jose, before moving on to the New York Islanders and finishing with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He holds the Sharks franchise record with 50 shutouts. Upon retirement from playing, Nabokov returned to San Jose in 2015 and remains with the organisation as goaltender coach and the director of goaltending. Drafted 29th overall by San Jose in 1998, Jonathan Chichu made an immediate impact when turning professional. The right winger registered 32 goals and 66 points through 75 games for Kentucky in his rookie season. A native of Moose Factory, Ontario, Chichu would feature in 501 NHL games, scoring 170 goals, with all but 5 for San Jose. He still holds Sharks franchise records for goals in the season, 56, power play goals in the season, 24, hat-tricks in the season, 5, and hat-tricks in a career, 9. Goaltenders Vesa Toskala and Johan Hedberg both played a single season in Kentucky before going on to have NHL careers. The latter has moved behind the bench and is currently head coach of Swedish team Örebro HK of the SHL. Zdeno Chara and Dan Boyle each played a single season for the Thoroughblades, though their paths did not cross, Chara playing the season before Boyle. The legendary defenseman went on to establish long and successful NHL careers that each would win a Stanley Cup. Chara with Boston and Boyle with Tampa. Including playoff games, the pair combined for over 3,000 NHL games. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like. And if you would like to see more videos on the AHL, please subscribe to this channel. Thanks again for watching.